ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever wondered why, despite all the advice in the world, some people change their lives completely while others remain stuck in a rut? What if I told you that there are 5 specific steps that have the power to completely transform your life, the same steps that I, like so many others, once ignored, yet have led to extraordinary breakthroughs? It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to think that change is a distant dream, but the truth is, it's closer than you think. Let me ask you this. How many times have you told yourself that today is the day to finally take control, only to watch the moment slip away? Well, in the next few minutes, I'll share the very steps that ignited my transformation and how, if you commit, they can do the same for you. Stick around because I'm about to reveal something that could be the turning point of your entire existence. But don't get too comfortable if you think this is going to be just another feel-good talk. You're in for a shock. By the end of this, you'll realize that these 5 steps aren't just some self-help fluff. They're the difference between living passively and taking full command of your life. Clarity of purpose is the foundation upon which all meaningful change is built. Without it, life can feel like you're aimlessly wandering through a maze, never quite sure if you're moving closer to your destination or simply circling back to where you started. This is why defining your purpose is the first and most crucial step in transforming your life. It's not just about having goals or aspirations, it's about understanding deeply why those goals matter to you and what drives you to pursue them, even when the going gets tough. When you have clarity of purpose, you gain a sense of direction. Every decision you make, every action you take becomes aligned with your deeper values and aspirations. This clarity helps you cut through the noise and distractions of everyday life. It acts like a compass guiding you toward what truly matters, while pushing aside things that waste your time or drain your energy. Imagine waking up every day knowing exactly why you're doing what you're doing, where you're headed, and how to measure your progress. It's empowering to have that sense of purpose because it makes everything feel more intentional. Clarity of purpose also shapes the way you handle challenges. Life inevitably throws obstacles in your path, but when you have a clear sense of what you're working toward, you develop the resilience to face those challenges head-on. Instead of feeling defeated or overwhelmed, you're able to keep pushing forward with a greater sense of determination. When the purpose behind your actions is strong enough, it's easier to stay motivated, even when the rewards are not immediately visible. This is the power of having a why that is deeply rooted in your values. It's important to note that clarity of purpose doesn't just appear out of thin air. It takes time, reflection, and sometimes trial and error to uncover what truly matters to you. In today's world where distractions are everywhere, it's easy to get caught up in other people's expectations or societal pressures, losing sight of your own desires in the process. You may find yourself running after goals that were never truly yours, only to feel unfulfilled once you reach them. That's why it's crucial to take the time to reflect on what truly lights you up, what drives you, and what you would sacrifice for in the pursuit of a meaningful life. One way to gain clarity is through introspection. Ask yourself tough questions. What am I passionate about? What do I want my life to look like in 5 or 10 years? What legacy do I want to leave behind? These questions force you to look inward and challenge the assumptions and narratives you've built about your life. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day hustle, but true clarity comes when you take a step back and see the bigger picture. Another powerful tool for achieving clarity is setting intentional goals, but not just any goals that are tied directly to your core values and the vision you have for your life. It's about focusing on what truly excites you and fills you with purpose, rather than chasing after what society says you should want. These are goals that resonate with your deepest desires, goals that you're willing to put in the work for even when they seem daunting. When your goals align with your purpose, they become more than just tasks on a to-do list. They become the driving force behind your everyday actions. Furthermore, clarity of purpose can also have a profound impact on your relationships and how you interact with others. When you know what you stand for, you become more selective about who you allow into your life. You attract people who resonate with your values, and you build relationships that support your growth rather than hinder it. Having a clear purpose allows you to set boundaries that protect your time and energy, ensuring that you are surrounding yourself with individuals who uplift and inspire you rather than drag you down. In this way, clarity of purpose doesn't just affect you, it ripples out to those around you, creating an environment that nurtures your personal and collective growth. At its core, clarity of purpose is about connecting with your true self, with your passions, and with a vision of the life you want to lead. It gives you the clarity and confidence to say no to distractions and yes to what truly matters. It's what keeps you grounded during difficult times and propels you forward when progress feels slow. And most importantly, it allows you to wake up each day with a sense of meaning and fulfillment, knowing that you are living in alignment with your highest values and your deepest purpose. Taking responsibility is one of the most powerful and transformative actions you can take in life. It is the act of acknowledging that you are in control of your life and your outcomes. It's about recognizing that no matter what circumstances you find yourself in, you have the ability to choose how to respond. Taking responsibility isn't just about admitting mistakes or owning up to errors. It's about fully embracing your power to shape your destiny. It means no longer blaming external factors, other people, or even your past for the challenges you face. When you take responsibility, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the author of your own story. One of the first steps in taking responsibility is shifting your mindset. It's easy to slip into a victim mentality, especially when life doesn't go as planned. We all face setbacks, whether it's a failure in our career, a broken relationship, or a personal disappointment. When these things happen, it's tempting to blame others or external forces because it absolves us of the uncomfortable feeling of accountability. But this kind of thinking keeps you stuck. It perpetuates feelings of helplessness and prevents you from making the necessary changes that could lead to a better future. Taking responsibility requires you to be brutally honest with yourself about where you are in life and why you're there. It's about accepting the reality of your situation without sugarcoating it or deflecting blame. This honesty may be uncomfortable at first, but it's the first step toward reclaiming your power. Once you take responsibility, you begin to realize that your actions, whether big or small, have consequences. This awareness allows you to make more intentional choices in every area of your life. You understand that you're not a passive observer in your own existence, you're an active participant. If you want to improve your financial situation, your health, or your relationships, you must acknowledge that the changes you seek will only happen if you take full ownership of the decisions that will drive that change. Waiting for someone else to fix things or hoping for external circumstances to change will only leave you disappointed. True change comes from within, and it begins with taking responsibility for the direction your life is heading. Taking responsibility also means confronting the things you've been avoiding. It's easy to let the uncomfortable stuff slide, whether it's a difficult conversation with a loved one, a task you keep putting off, or an area of your life that you've been neglecting. But these things don't disappear on their own. The longer you avoid them, the bigger they become, creating more stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. Taking responsibility requires you to face these challenges head-on. It's about recognizing that avoiding responsibility only makes things worse in the long run. Instead, when you take charge, you break through those barriers, which allows you to grow stronger and more resilient in the process. It's not about being perfect, it's about being brave enough to tackle what's in front of you, knowing that each small step forward is progress. Another crucial aspect of taking responsibility is learning from your failures. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeing failure as something to avoid at all costs. But failure, when approached with the right mindset, is one of the most valuable learning experiences you can have. When you take responsibility for your mistakes, you allow yourself to grow from them. You recognize that failure is not a reflection of who you are, but an opportunity to gain insights and improve. People who take responsibility don't shy away from their mistakes. They embrace them, analyze them, and use them as stepping stones toward success. They understand that each failure is simply a lesson in disguise, and each lesson is a tool for their personal development. This mindset shift is what separates those who remain stuck from those who continue to move forward, regardless of the obstacles they face. Furthermore, taking responsibility is key to building trust in relationships. When you consistently take ownership of your actions, people around you begin to see you as reliable and accountable. This doesn't just apply to your professional life, it's equally important in personal relationships. Whether it's a friend, family member, or partner, taking responsibility for your words and actions creates an environment of mutual respect. It shows that you are committed to your relationships and that you value honesty and integrity. People are drawn to those who take responsibility because it fosters a sense of safety and reliability. On the other hand, when you deflect blame or avoid accountability, it creates tension and mistrust. By taking responsibility, you cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections with others, which are crucial for both personal and professional success. Ultimately, taking responsibility is about empowerment. It's about reclaiming the control that you might have given away to circumstances, other people, or fear. When you take responsibility, you take control of your life, and that is when true transformation can begin. You no longer see yourself as a passenger on the road of life, but as the driver steering your own course. This shift in perspective has the potential to create profound change in every aspect of your existence. Whether it's your career, health, relationships, or personal growth, the moment you take responsibility is the moment you unlock the power to shape your future. It's about embracing the truth that your choices define you, and the results you experience are a direct consequence of those choices. Taking responsibility is not just an act, it's a mindset, a way of life that opens up endless possibilities for growth and fulfillment. Building resilience is a vital skill that everyone must develop to thrive in an unpredictable world. Life isn't always smooth sailing. We all face challenges, setbacks, and obstacles that seem insurmountable at times. However, it's not the adversity itself that determines the course of our lives, but how we respond to it. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from hardships, to adapt to difficult situations, and to grow stronger through adversity. It's not about avoiding hardship, but learning to thrive despite it. The more resilient you become, the more you realize that obstacles, while inevitable, do not have to define your experience. Instead, they become stepping stones for personal growth and success. One of the first steps in building resilience is developing a positive mindset, even in the face of adversity. It's easy to feel defeated when life gets tough. Negative thoughts can creep in, and it can be tempting to surrender to them, to believe that things will never improve. But resilience starts with the understanding that your thoughts and perceptions shape your reality. When you allow yourself to focus on negative aspects of a situation, you compound your stress and anxiety. On the other hand, when you shift your focus to what you can control, to the opportunities for growth within every challenge, you begin to reclaim your power. Resilient individuals don't let adversity define them. They define how they will respond to adversity. They choose to see setbacks as temporary and believe that they have the ability to overcome whatever challenges come their way. Building resilience also involves emotional regulation. During tough times, it's easy to let your emotions get the best of you. Anger, frustration, fear, and sadness are natural human responses to difficult situations. However, how you handle these emotions can make a significant difference in your resilience. Resilient people understand that emotions are temporary, and while it's important to acknowledge and feel them, they don't allow their emotions to dictate their actions. They learn to pause, breathe, and create space between feeling and reacting. This emotional control allows them to think more clearly, make better decisions, and respond to challenges in a way that aligns with their long-term goals. Rather than reacting impulsively, resilient individuals take a step back to assess the situation, regulate their emotions, and then decide the best course of action. Another important aspect of resilience is developing strong problem-solving skills. When faced with a challenge, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the sheer size of the problem. However, resilient individuals break down the problem into manageable pieces. They don't let the magnitude of the situation paralyze them. Instead, they focus on what they can do now to move forward. This problem-solving mindset is crucial in building resilience because it allows you to approach difficulties with a sense of agency and control. Rather than feeling helpless, you realize that every problem has a solution, and it's just a matter of taking action, no matter how small the step might seem. By consistently solving problems, you strengthen your ability to tackle future challenges with greater ease. Support systems play a significant role in building resilience as well. Resilient people don't try to go it alone. They understand the importance of connecting with others during difficult times. Whether it's friends, family, or colleagues, a strong support system provides emotional validation, encouragement, and practical help. When facing adversity, having people to lean on can provide the strength and perspective needed to overcome challenges. The feeling of knowing that you are not alone in your struggle fosters a sense of security and hope. Resilience is not about going through life without difficulty. It's about having the strength to face those difficulties with the understanding that you have the support you need to get through them. Additionally, building resilience involves cultivating self-compassion. In our society, we often push ourselves to perform at the highest levels, and we can be our harshest critics when we fail. However, resilience is not about perfection, it's about progress. When we make mistakes or face setbacks, it's crucial to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a friend in a similar situation. Resilient individuals practice self-compassion by forgiving themselves for their mistakes and giving themselves permission to learn from them. They understand that failure is not an end, but a lesson, a crucial part of the journey. By accepting our flaws and learning from them, we build emotional strength that allows us to persevere through even the most difficult times. Another key factor in building resilience is maintaining a sense of purpose. Resilience is fueled by meaning. When you have a clear sense of purpose or a goal that matters to you, it becomes much easier to push through adversity. Purpose provides direction, and when the going gets tough, a sense of purpose acts as a guiding light, reminding you of why you're putting in the effort in the first place. Resilient individuals often have a deeper connection to something bigger than themselves, a vision, a cause, or a dream that keeps them going. This connection gives them the strength to overcome challenges and to keep moving forward when everything else seems to be falling apart. Resilience is also built through self-care and stress management. It's easy to ignore your own well-being when life gets busy or overwhelming, but neglecting your physical and mental health can significantly reduce your ability to cope with stress. Resilient individuals make self-care a priority, whether that's through exercise, meditation, healthy eating, or simply getting enough rest. By taking care of your body and mind, you strengthen your overall ability to bounce back from adversity. Self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for maintaining the strength and energy needed to navigate life's challenges. Ultimately, building resilience is about creating the mental, emotional, and physical tools necessary to thrive in the face of adversity. It's about developing the mindset, habits, and support systems that allow you to face life's challenges with strength and perseverance. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's a skill that you can cultivate over time. Every obstacle you overcome, every setback you recover from adds to your resilience, making you stronger and more capable of handling whatever comes next. Consistency is one of the most powerful principles that drive success, and yet it is often one of the most overlooked. It's not the grand, spectacular actions that lead to lasting results, but the small, steady, and continuous efforts that accumulate over time. The reality is, consistency is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's easy to get excited about starting something new, whether it's a fitness routine, a new project, or a personal goal, but the true test comes in the follow-through, the ability to maintain effort and stay committed day after day, even when motivation wanes or obstacles arise. Consistency is what keeps you moving forward inch by inch, even when the initial excitement fades and the road ahead seems long or uncertain. When you commit to consistency, you acknowledge that success is not achieved overnight. It's a gradual process that unfolds through the daily choices you make. The small actions you take consistently, even if they seem insignificant in the moment, accumulate into significant change over time. Think about something as simple as a drop of water steadily dripping onto a rock. While each drop on its own may seem like it has no impact, over time, the constant pressure from those small drops can wear down even the hardest stone. Similarly, your consistent actions, no matter how small, compound over time and create results that are far greater than the sum of the individual efforts. One of the key benefits of consistency is that it helps you develop discipline. Discipline is often seen as a skill reserved for the highly motivated or the naturally gifted, but in reality, discipline is the result of consistent effort. It's the ability to show up even when you don't feel like it and to keep going, even when the task at hand becomes tedious or challenging. Discipline doesn't require a burst of motivation. It requires a commitment to your goals and the determination to keep pushing forward, even in the absence of external validation or immediate rewards. The more consistently you take action toward your goals, the more disciplined you become. And discipline, in turn, strengthens your ability to achieve success in any area of life. Consistency also builds momentum. The hardest part of any journey is often the beginning. The first few steps are the most difficult, and it can feel like progress is painfully slow. But as you continue to take consistent action, something powerful happens. Momentum begins to build. Just like a snowball rolling down a hill, the more you push forward, the more your actions gain speed and force. Momentum propels you forward even when things get tough, making it easier to continue working toward your goals. The key to building momentum, however, is consistency. You can't expect momentum to develop if you're only taking action sporadically or when you feel like it. It's the repeated effort day in and day out that allows momentum to take hold and carry you through the tough times. Another important aspect of consistency is that it fosters accountability. When you make a habit of showing up consistently, whether for your work, your health, or any other area of your life, you hold yourself accountable to the promises you've made. Consistency requires you to take ownership of your actions and decisions, and when you do this over time, it strengthens your character. You begin to trust yourself more because you know that you are someone who does what they say they will do, even when it's difficult. This self-trust is crucial for long-term success. Without consistency, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-doubt, procrastination, and missed opportunities. But when you show up consistently, you not only build trust in yourself, but you also develop the confidence to take on even bigger challenges. Consistency is also essential for building skill and mastery. Whether you're learning a new language, developing a new hobby, or improving your professional skills, consistent practice is the key to getting better. Mastery doesn't happen by chance, it happens through repetition, feedback, and continuous improvement. The more consistently you practice, the faster you'll see progress. Even when the progress seems small or hard to measure, the consistency itself is a form of growth. Over time, your efforts will accumulate into a level of skill and expertise that would have been impossible to achieve with inconsistent effort. In addition to building skill and expertise, consistency plays a crucial role in developing resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and there will be times when things don't go according to plan. But if you are consistent in your efforts, you build the mental and emotional resilience needed to weather the storms. Consistency teaches you to keep going even when the path isn't clear, when the results are slow to appear, or when setbacks occur. It helps you stay focused on the long-term vision rather than getting discouraged by short-term difficulties. Resilient people are those who keep showing up, even when they don't see immediate results, because they trust that their consistent actions will eventually pay off. Finally, consistency helps you establish healthy habits that become second nature. The more you repeat a positive action, the easier it becomes to integrate that action into your daily life. Over time, consistent behaviors transform into automatic habits that require less effort and willpower to maintain. This is particularly important when it comes to long-term success, as habits shape much of our daily lives. Whether it's exercising, eating healthy, or dedicating time to personal growth, consistency is the backbone of creating habits that support your overall well-being and success. Once these habits are in place, they provide a steady foundation for continued growth, no matter what challenges you may face along the way. In essence, consistency is the secret ingredient to success. It's not the big moments or the bursts of motivation that make the difference. It's the small, steady actions taken day in and day out that lead to lasting transformation. Consistency is what builds discipline, fosters accountability, creates momentum, and leads to mastery. It's what helps you stay on course even when obstacles arise and ensures that you continue to move toward your goals, no matter how long the journey may be. Through consistent effort, you unlock the potential to achieve anything you set your mind to.